the way this thing was...
I'm here to tell you that the rules have been promulgated, duly consistent with Rhode Island general law. Public notice was executed. 2 public hearings were held on the rules as they, at the public notice, public hearing process has occurred for many, many years. And so the rules are in place, and the rules with regarding hunting in Snake Den State Park are part of law at this point in time by force of regulation. The map over on the back side of the room here is an indication of those areas that will be available to the bow hunting public. There are about 50 copies of that small map here. That will also be posted on our website, along with greater clarity on any of the rules that any of you may wish to ask. I've asked staff to prepare some comments there farming, and I urge you to go there to buy locally grown fruits and vegetables, as the mayor always urges me to eat locally in Johnston. I don't think the chicken parm at Louise G's was grown locally, but it was delicious. And so with the mayor's agreement, what we would do here now is, again, we have a host. I have several $100,000 a year of talent here, prepared to answer your questions about hunting, bow hunting at Snake Den Park in 2010.
Focus the hunting efforts. Hunting, we believe, is and has been proven to be the most successful and effective way to curb the growth of deer populations. If left unchecked, of course, these deer will reproduce and rapidly exceed the capacity of the environment to sustain them. And there is an ecological consequence that goes along with a lot of this, and that ecological consequence has to do with the forest, the wildflowers, much of the habitat that you, if you hunt or you don't hunt, and you enjoy maybe looking at lady slipper flowers. I mean, you'll notice that many of those are gone. They've disappeared because the deer eat them. And so there are, and you know, this is sort of a broad issue that affects not only the health of the forest, you know, the enjoyment by the public to see these other things, but also, and at DEM we felt very strongly about this, particularly in urban areas, the public health and safety issues, and we felt that we had to reevaluate the way we were doing it and try to come up with a different way. And within the last year, we've conducted an evaluation looking at road kills and auto strikes. Rhode Island has some of the highest auto insurance rates in the country, and many of these accidents that we see occur in urban towns or suburban towns like Johnston and Cranston, East Greenwich and Warwick, where there is a restriction and limitations on where people can hunt, because just a lot of house levels just means how many deer you have relative to how many you can support. And if we use the roadkill statistics alone, statewide, we had 1,224 last year in 09 and 1,118 in 08. So we had a 9% increase in roadkills overall. And in the town of Johnston, we had a roadkill of 28 were hit by car and killed. And we had hunting in Johnston, which resulted in the take of 20 deer. So we actually killed more with cars than we did with guns or bows and arrows. So the issue is, as a group of skilled sportsmen who are willing to actually pay to buy a license to go out and harvest the deer, we as managers can utilize those hunters, those skilled, respective people, to go out there and be an effective tool for removing the danger that you might have if you're a non-hunter driving home to your house one night and God forbid you hit a deer. The hunters buy licenses, the licenses they purchase allows us to do many other things that benefit people that hunt and don't hunt, including, you know, setting aside land that hunter and non-hunter alike get to utilize. So the issue is not simply about recreation or hunting. It is about stewardship of both public health and safety, and also about the ecological consequences for doing nothing. We cannot bury our heads in the sand and continue to say, well, we don't want any hunting here because the time has come, due to the ecological consequences, to take an action. And I believe that this is something that is completely compatible. We have a very safe record. I know Karen's going to talk about this. but it's effective for us to utilize the hunter and archery as an effective way to reduce this population and hopefully reduce the suffering either through auto strikes, Lyme disease, or the ecological consequences that come along with having too many deer.
I'm just here to give you a brief overview of Rhode Island's bow hunter education program. Rhode Island's actually been a pioneer in bow hunter education. We've been at it for about 35 years. Starting around 1975, we adopted the International Bow Hunter Education Program, and that was developed by the National Bow Hunter Education Foundation. This curriculum is utilized throughout North America, and it's a standardized curriculum. Rhode Island is one of only 17 states that actually mandates bow hunter education for first-time bow hunters. So we actually are a lot stricter than many other states and provinces. Just for some stats from our program last year, we have 35 certified instructors. They taught 16 classes at 8 different facilities. They certified 370 students. Again, this is specific to bow hunting. The classes are generally 8 to 10 hours, usually completed in one session or two. It consists of classroom instruction. Also, most courses have simulated field exercises such as tree stand safety, game recovery, practice with bow and arrow, such things as that. All students also must pass a